911. What's your emergency? My name is Ted and I called earlier about my daughter who has been kidnapped. Are you the gentleman who resides on 664 Mockingbird Lane? Yes, that's me. Sir, the police have your complaint information in their database and they will come by your house to speak with you as soon as they can. When this is all said and done, I'm filing a complaint and getting a lawyer. My daughter is being used as a prop in some psychopath's real-life horror movie and the police don't think this is a priority? Sir, the gas station on Main Street was involved in an armed robbery, so unless you can tell me that someone's life is in imminent danger, then the police won't pull their recourses away to deal with a girl that is scared on her Girl Scout camping trip. Ma'am, I'm telling you that my daughter has been kidnapped. I foolishly allowed her to go with someone who intentionally misrepresented herself and is now posting videos of herself terrorizing my daughter and the 2 other girls. What is this woman doing? Well, in the newest videos, the girls are seen petrified to the point that they're crying, and then this Carol woman videotapes herself circling the tent and intentionally shakes the tent to scare the girls. Sir, I understand that you are seeing your daughter in a scared emotional state and that's worrisome to you, but shaking a tent isn't really harming anyone. Listen, you don't understand. This woman is only showing small video clips. I don't know what she's doing before or after she's taking these videos, and I do know that she's not one of the girls' mothers like she said she was, and she didn't take them to the campground that she said that she was going to take them to. So you called the campground and your daughter and the other girls aren't there? Yes, one of the mothers called the campground and no, they're not at the campground. And this Carol woman's phone is disconnected. I really don't know how many other shady examples you need to realize that something really wrong is going on. Okay, sir. I'm going to relay your information over to the police again and hopefully they'll send someone to your house quicker. Listen, I need a detective over here and not some slapdick local cop who's going to look at these videos and scratch his or her head. Also, I'm fairly certain that this Carol woman is an ex-cop who retired in 2019. I was able to identify a retirement ring she was wearing in the last video she posted. Okay, sir, I have your information and I'm going to pass it along to the police. Great. Hurry up. This is my daughter I'm talking about and 2 other children as well. I hang up the phone and continue to pace in my living room. It's the most awful feeling in the world to be filled with such anger and have no way of confronting the person who is harming your daughter. Then I have a thought. What if I send a comment on this at Serial Killer Blossom's TikTok page with the hopes that Carol will unknowingly send me a clue to their whereabouts? She has posted a Part 7 video and I really don't want to watch the video, but I know I have to. I grab a section of my hair as I start the video, and this time the video starts off with the 3 girls laying on their stomachs in the tent, with their hands behind their heads. I press play on the video and grab this ceramic vase that my in-laws got us and I throw it against the wall as hard as I can and let off the loudest fuck expletive that I can yell. The vase shatters into hundreds of pieces as I'm lucky that one of the shards didn't hit my eye. I start angrily pacing again as I press play on the video. The girls don't have any sleeping bags and are essentially laying on the bare floor of the tent with their faces down, which must be extremely uncomfortable. I can hear the girls whimper as Carol continues to videotape them. She then puts the video camera on something and points it at the girls and proceeds to take out a piece of rope and ties my daughter's legs together. At this point, my head is completely filled to the rim with anger and hopelessness as it can possibly be. The video ends as the 2 other girls' legs are tied together. I try to think what comment I can write to this psychopath. But then it dawns on me, to instead call the police station's non-emergency phone number and hopefully this Carol person will sound familiar to someone. I look up the local police station's non-emergency number and see that I just need to dial 311. However, I discover that the phone number is only accessible to 5 p.m. With no other available options, I decide to drive to the local police station, hoping that they have a dispatch person or someone in the office. I hustle to my car and take the 5-minute drive to the police station. I get into the parking lot of the small police station and I see one police cruiser with a few parked cars, that I figure must belong to the police officers on duty. As I approach the door, I see a big sign that reads, "If you have an emergency, dial 911. This station is not open to the public during non-business hours." I disregard that sign and knock as loud as I can on the police station's door. At this point, I almost want a cop to come, so I can show them the last video of the girls being tied up and get help. After knocking for what seemed like an eternity, I can see someone reluctantly coming towards the door. It's a heavy-set woman in her mid-50s. There's a small window to the side of the door that looks like lab specimens are passed through. She pulls the small window open and says, "The police station is closed. You need to leave and call 911, if you have an emergency. Please listen, I really need your help. My daughter and 2 other Girl Scouts have been kidnapped by someone, who I believe was an ex-cop. Please look at this video clip really quick." The woman looks the least bit interested, but I put on the video clip as quickly as possible before she walks away. "Oh my. Is one of those girls your daughter?" she says as she watches the girl's legs being tied together. "When did you last see your daughter?" "Earlier today, where I thought she was going on a Girl Scout camping trip." "Did you call 911? "Yes, twice, and the operator didn't feel this was an emergency." "Well, this video surely looks very disturbing." "I know. I feel so angry and hopeless, but I'm fairly certain that the woman who took my daughter was an ex-cop, because I saw her wearing a retirement ring in one of the videos that had 2019 on it, which I'm guessing is the year she retired. She drives a blue Mercury Sable and is about 5 feet 4 inches tall. She had brown hair when I saw her, but who knows, maybe it was a different color at one time. You know what? Give me a couple of minutes and I'm going to use our radio to see if this woman sounds familiar to anyone on our police force." "Oh please, thank you so much." I continue to stand by the door for the woman to come back. I start to get really fidgety as I can only imagine what's happening to my daughter. I know this might be my only hope to figuring out Carol's identity before it's too late. Finally, I see the woman reappear. "Sir, one of the officers said this woman might sound familiar to him, based on what you told me about her car and the year she retired. I was given a name of Rosemary Black, who worked for a nearby police precinct sometime in 2019. His name is Officer Dan and he said that he will stop by here in a few minutes once he's done with his current police call." "Oh, thank you so much. I'll just wait here then." I take out my iPhone and put Rosemary Black's name into Google to try to find any information about her. A bunch of spam comes up with websites that will do a background check for a fee, so I decide to switch to Google Images. As I scroll through the images, I see a police academy graduation photo from 1999 and I say out loud, "That's her." She looks obviously younger, but there's definitely a clear resemblance to the Carol that I met in person. I see a police cruiser come flying into the parking lot that actually has its police lights on, so I can tell he was driving as quickly as possible to get here. He gets out of his car and comes towards me. He's about 40 years old, 5 feet 6 inches, with a muscular build and is clean shaven with short black hair. "Officer Dan, thank you so much for coming. You think this woman is Rosemary Black?" "Well, I'm involved with the police union and I was helping out with someone, who ultimately got terminated a couple of years ago. She needed union representation and I was one of the people who assisted her in her disciplinary hearings. The blue Mercury Sable was a giveaway as I remember waiting for her in the parking lot." "I was told you have a disturbing video of your daughter?" I get my phone and replay the TikTok video of my daughter and the 2 other girls' legs being tied up. "Wow, I'm sorry. This is not good," the officer says while holding his right hand to his chin. "This Rosemary woman retired from the police force in 2019? I ask. "No, she was actually terminated shortly before she had her 20 years of service in. She's very manipulative and God only knows what she fabricated in the past, while she worked for the police department." "How did she get fired?" "She just had a way of fabricating stories to the point where she was always intentionally looking to be a hero. Routine traffic stops weren't good enough for her. She always wanted to be on the front page of the local newspaper or on the local news. She's just a very attention-seeking person to the point where it has turned into a mental illness. Even myself, representing her for the police union, knew that she was detrimental to the police force." "What about her retirement ring?" "Nobody is given a retirement ring anymore when they retire. You have to purchase that on your own and that's probably what she did." "Listen, you saw the video and you can see the danger that my daughter and the 2 other girls are in. Where do you think she might be?" "One of the videos looks like they were in a thick forested area." "Well, I vaguely remember her saying that her father had property somewhere north of Scranton, where he was a retired mechanic for a high school. That would probably explain the little yellow school bus then, that the girls were transported in. Let me radio the police department that patrols north of Scranton to try to pinpoint the area. They'll probably know Rosemary's property as well." "Oh please, thank you so much." I press refresh on my iPhone and I see that another video has been posted. I slap my forehead in despair as I don't know what I'll see in this video.